Hello boys and girls, and welcome to the second part of our math lesson for today. So again, we are doing lesson 8.3, which is titled Estimate Lengths in Inches, and we are answering the essential question, how do you estimate the lengths of objects in inches? So I'm just going to give you kind of a few more examples and go through some activities with you to really help you understand the meaning of estimate. So remember, estimate is almost like kind of like making a really good guess, and it's not just kind of like guessing like anything random. It's kind of like using reasoning, and it's using information that we have to make a good guess. So that's really what an estimate is to guess, but you're also guessing based off of the information that you have available. So let's just move on to the first question. So the first question says, the bead is 1 inch long, meaning this bead right here, the orange one. Use this bead to help find how many beads will fit on the string. Which is the best estimate for the length of the string? So our options here are 2 inches, 5 inches, or 8 inches. So we're going to practice using the bead to kind of help us estimate what or how long the string really is. So let's I'm just going to keep clicking, and you'll see that we kind of outlined the bead here and made almost like another bead, but kind of like not exactly the same bead, but it is the same length. So what we can do is when we outline the bead, then we can take that outline and just kind of keep putting them next to each other until we fill the whole string. So we're just going to continue to do that. So right now we have 3 inches, because remember each bead is 1 inch. Now we have 4 inches, and then 5 inches, and now our whole string for the most part is pretty full. Okay, and so 5 inches would be the best estimate for the length of the string, and here is why. So again, our options were 2 inches, 5 inches, and 8 inches. 2 inches would be 2 beads, and 2 beads would be way too short. That would be like right here, leaving all of this string to still not be measured. So 2 inches would be too short. Okay, let's look at 8 inches. 8 beads would be too long. We only have 5 here, and we've already covered up most of this string. Okay, if we were to add 3 more beads, that would go like all the way over here. So that would be way too long of a measurement. So 5 inches is about right, because for the most part it covers up the entire string. Yes, we do have a little bit of extra string that's still over here, but it's still pretty close, right? That's why we always say about. It's about 5 inches when we're estimating. So that way we kind of know that like it's not exactly 5 inches, but it's like pretty close to the point where we can just say that it's 5 inches. Okay, so that's how you kind of use, in this example, you can use the beads to kind of help you make that estimate. Okay. So let's move on to the next activity now, and this one is going to have us actually using 1 inch beads, and then we're going to circle the best estimate for the length of each string. So we're going to start with this one right here. Okay, so our options here are 1 inch, 3 inches, and 5 inches. So let's just use the beads and cover up that string until we can't see almost any more of that string anymore, and then we're going to count how many beads we use to do that. Okay, so for the most part, that string is pretty much covered up, right? And so now we can count the beads. 1, 2, 3. So our best estimate option here would be that the string is 3 inches long. Okay, let's try the next one. So our options are 2 inches, 4 inches, and 6 inches. So again, I'm going to use my beads to kind of cover up this string, so that way we can get the best possible measurement. This one's quite a long one. Okay, so again, for the most part, that string is completely covered up. Yes, you can still see a little bit on the ends there, but again, we're just estimating, and we're going to use the word about, right? So let's now count how many beads we use to cover that string. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So our best option here is that the string is about 6 inches long. And let's try the next one. So I'm going to cover up the string with as many beads as it takes, and then I'm going to count how many beads I used. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4. So my answer for this one would be about 4 inches. Okay? Let's do a few more. So it says, again, we're doing the same thing. Circle the best estimate for the length of each string. And we're going to be using our beads to help us. So again, I'm going to cover up this string with as many beads as I can. And then once that string is covered up, I am then going to circle the best estimate. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4. So we can say that this string is about 4 inches long. All right? Do 2 more. And remember too, making sure that the beads are touching each other and that there's no space in between. That's going to give you the best measurement. Okay, so now we count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this one we can circle 6 inches. Okay, and then the last one. Again, we're going to cover that string up so that we can hardly see any of it. There's going to be no spaces in between our beads, so that way we can get the best possible answer and the best accurate measurement. And then we're going to count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this one we can say is about 5 inches. Okay? All right, so now we got a little bit of a word problem here. So let's see if we can solve this word problem. So it says, Sasha has a string that is the length of 5 beads. Each bead is 2 inches long. What is the length of the string? Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to take this little by little. So let's look at that first sentence again. It says, Sasha has a string that is the length of 5 beads. Okay, we're going to stop right there. So the length of the string is 5 beads. So what we can start off by doing is we can use 5 beads to just see how long this string is. I don't even really need the string itself. I just need to know that it's 5 beads long. So I'm going to use 5 beads to see just how long that really is. Okay, so I have my 5 beads. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, each bead is 2 inches long. So what I can actually do is I can put 2's right here. I'm going to infinite clone this for a second. So that way we can move it along a little bit quicker. All right, so each bead I know is 2 inches long. So I'm just going to put a 2 there just to kind of remind myself. 2 inches. I know we've been working with a lot of 1-inch objects, so these is going to be a little tricky. So these are 2-inch objects. So now that I know that each object is 2 inches, I can then count by 2's to find out how long the length of that string is. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. So I can say that the string is going to be about 10 inches long. Okay? All right, and then our last problem. So it says Tamika has this string. She has many beads that are 1 inch long, like this blue bead. Which is the best estimate for the length of the string? So this one we're actually going to do by making an estimate, not using any kind of actual bead. We're just going to kind of look at the string. We're going to look at how big this bead is. And we're going to make the best estimate that we can to see how long the string is. So let's look at some of our options here. We have 10 inches, 5 inches, 2 inches, and 1 inch. So right off the bat, I see 2 options that I know it can't be, right? So for me, I notice that it can't be 1 inch because this is showing 1 inch right here. And this string is way longer than 1 inch. So I know that D cannot be the option. I then look at C, and it says 2 inches. So that would mean that it's this bead and then one more. And I think that that would still be a little bit too short because we still have all of this string over here on the side. So 1 inch and 2 inches can't be right. 5 inches, that might work, but let's look at this other option. 10 inches. 10 inches seems to me like it would be, you would need a lot more beads. So if you were to do 10 beads along this string, I think that it would go all the way over here. So I think that the best option to choose from is B, 5 inches. I think 5 beads will probably get you somewhere like right over here, which would be pretty much the whole string, right? Just about. So that's why it would be about 5 inches. So again, we're making an estimate. So 5 inches will probably be the best answer for this one. So do you see how I kind of found that answer by doing something I like to call process of elimination? So we could eliminate these two options easily because we know for a fact that that's not going to work, right? And then 5 inches just looks like it would be it would make the most sense, right? So that's how you estimate. Sometimes you just have to look at something and you think, what would be the most reasonable option out of the ones that I'm given? And for this example, 5 inches is definitely the most reasonable option. Okay, boys and girls, so you can now go on to Think Central and you can sign in and complete the assignment for 8.3. Hopefully these videos were helpful to you on how to estimate a measurement of in inches. So definitely go on to Think Central and complete the assignment for 8.3. Good luck, and if you need any help, please come on to office hours and we can work on it together. Bye.